Hi, guys. Like Carson said, my name is Betsy Johnson, and I am a graduating senior here at the University of Arkansas. It's funny, I used to think that everyone standing up here on these testimony nights looks so old, and now here I am. So funny how that works. I've had the great blessing of being plugged into Cross Church since my sophomore year of college. And after going through Growth Track, I've served in my time here on the service team, the greeter team, the nursery on Sunday mornings, and this past semester have had the honor and blessing of helping lead Community Group 5. Let's go. In the past 4 years, the Lord has worked within me and around me in ways that I could have never imagined or seen possible. My testimony begins at the ripe age of 9 years old in my hometown of Jonesboro, Arkansas, during an ice storm. This ice storm was the first time I remember coming face to face with the idea of my mortality. And although I look back now and this was probably the least life-threatening weather I could have ever faced, it was the first time I realized that my days are numbered and my eternity is real. It was during this time that my parents presented to me the gospel. I asked about Jesus, and then I went on and became saved and accepted him into my heart. From then, I began living my life pursuing my faith. Alongside this pursuit, I was so blessed to have two deeply faithful parents and two older brothers who were some of my best friends. I kind of lived in this seemingly unshakable bubble of a perfect family unit. This bubble burst the spring semester of my senior year of college when my brother estranged himself from my family. My senior year of high school. As I went into college, it was easy to blame my rebellious pursuits and my sinful heart on my outside circumstances. I began to party, drink, smoke, and every worldly pursuit in between. My heart truly, truly ached from the hurt of my brother, and this void and need for validation was something that I tried to dole down with any avenue I found. Near the end of my freshman year, I felt empty from these pursuits, and all I was left with was a hurting heart that never received any proper treatment. The summer after my freshman year, I went to be a camp counselor at a camp called Brook Hill Ranch. It was here that God began to draw me back in. Every single morning during my quiet time, I began to read the story of the prodigal son in Luke chapter 15. In this story, the son goes to his father and asks for his portion of his inheritance early. The father who loves his son gives him this. The son then goes and wastes all of the money on earthly things. He eventually is so broken down and poor that he goes to work and live with pigs and wallowing in the same mud as them. His life is so low and destitute that he even hungers for the same food that the pigs eat. So one day he decides that this is no life worth living. So he decides that he's going to go back to his father, who he doesn't think will ever take him back, and he's going to ask for employment. When he goes back to his father, and his father sees him in the distance, his father strips off his robes and runs to his son with open arms. He embraces his son, and he celebrates that he returned home. Instead of any ill treatment or guilt tripping, his father rejoices that his son, who was once lost, is now found again. You see, originally when I would read this story, I had my brother in mind. I read it so obsessively because I thought this was how God was going to heal my family. That one day my brother would come back, and I, being the gracious, loving sister that I am, would open my arms to him. But there was one morning when I was reading this same passage over again. God opened my eyes in a way that I will never forget, and it changed me forever. As I was reading, I started to see that the son in this story was someone similar to myself, not my brother. Raised with the love of the Father, but actively running from this, wallowing in my own sin and hungering for things that would never satisfy me. As God began to reveal to me who I was in this story, he also shone a beautiful light on exactly who he is and the arms he's had open wide this entire time. It was never about my cleanliness, my perfection, or even my circumstances, but it was always about his love that declared no mud too dirty for him to welcome me back home. From that moment on, I recommitted my every passion and pursuit in my life to Christ. And ever since then, I've still been a sinner in need of saving grace. I've walked through trials. I've seen God heal my family. I've lost people I've loved. I've resigned my own plans for my life and seen him provide blessings. All of these things while staying within his embrace. If there's anything you hear from me tonight, let it be this. No matter where you are, no matter what circumstances you face, no matter what sin you've pursued, no mud is too dirty, no circumstance too far gone, and no hunger able to be satisfied apart from Christ. His arms are open, and his love is unchanging. Because ultimately, we all have the opportunity to be prodigals, but only if we choose to leave our mud and run to the Father. And when we run to him, heaven will rejoice, simply because what was once lost is now found. Thank you.